Before I begin, I would like to thank my family who flew in from Nova Scotia and New Brunswick today to be here. Your love and strength has given me hope to pursue anything I put my mind to. I would also like to thank my mentors and my friends. Without your guidance and encouragement, I would not be standing up here. Thank you. I'm so excited to see all of you. It's been a very long time. And all my professors as well. To be honest, I almost didn't make it. Not talking about not graduating, I actually almost slept through my alarm. We all know that I'm a little bit notorious for that. So let me just start off by introducing myself. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Nadine. I'm a Lebanese Canadian from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and today I'm so excited to be receiving my master's degree in psychology. The people in my life would describe me a little bit of a weirdo. I've learned to embrace this defining characteristic, and in fact, I'd like to think that's why people are drawn to me. In the world of therapy, we call it being authentic. I found psychology kind of by a fluke. I was sitting in the library after realizing I hated my degree, and a close friend approached me and asked me if she could vent. I was excited to lend my ears. At the end of our conversation, she looked at me and said, "I think you could really do this for a living." And I said, "Listen, for a living? You've got to be kidding me." But it stuck, and 6 years later, here I am, listening for a living. And I don't think there's anything in this world I'd rather be doing. To my fellow classmates, shall we take a moment? I'd like you to turn to your neighbor and give them a big high five, or a hug if you're really feeling it. Your accomplishments today are a reflection of your passion and character as human beings. I know most of us have been working for the past few years, but I think this day is symbolic of a new chapter in our lives, and I'm so happy to share this memory with all of you. To the professors and to the staff at Adler, thank you. Your knowledge and encouragement and your dedication has inspired us to never give up, and you have all given us something much more valuable than an education. You've given us an experience. And we cannot forget about all of you guys. You are our support systems, our cheerleaders, and our hearts. I think you all deserve a big round of applause. Without your unconditional support and your love, I think a lot of us would be in a very different place right now. And I know you're all very proud of your loved ones today, and I'm so happy to see you here in support of them. As I look out today, I see such a thriving graduating class, from CAMH to Sick Kids to Homewood to school boards and private practices all over Ontario and even stretching into Halifax. Students from this class have begun to make their mark, and it makes me very proud. When I sat down to write this speech, I had every intention of taking an academic route. I had some of my favorite Adlerian quotes chosen, and my resources piled high up onto my desk. For me, this was the easiest way to do it. It was also very comfortable. But here's the thing. Without heart, nothing is authentic. Adler himself wrote from the heart, so I thought that I would follow in his footsteps today. Plus, nothing exciting happens when you sit in your comfort zone. It's in moments of discomfort we look inward and connect to our emotion, and we learn to move forward. When we trust that movement, any adversity we are facing is conquerable. So, remembering this, I closed all my books, I grabbed my laptop, and I took a walk. I ended up near a look-off by my parents' house. From here, you can see all of Halifax. This is one of my happy places. For me, it's a place where nature and peace collide. It's also a place where I've made a lot of life-changing decisions. One was to move to Toronto and pursue my dream of higher education. So finding myself here in a state of discomfort wasn't new for me. I decided to reflect on how I felt about this entire experience and what the future my experiences have prepared me for. The truth is, I'm actually a little scared and a little bit anxious right now. Anxiety, oh, that A word. It wouldn't be a psychology conference or convocation if I didn't talk about anxiety. But it's a little bit ironic. We worry and we fear things the future holds so much that we miss out on the beauty the present has to offer. Sometimes we cannot help but be a little bit nervous. And contrary to popular belief, I'd like to think that feeling a little bit of anxiety is actually a good thing. I know a client is making progress in a session when they tell me they feel a little bit uncomfortable. Whatever the problem they are facing, in a session, whether it's confronting a partner about something that upsets them, leaving a toxic relationship, or quitting a bad habit, or just making a small lifestyle change. They're preparing themselves to leave their comfort zone. So naturally, they're going to feel a little bit of anxiety. There's that uncertainty of what happens next. What if I do this thing and it backfires? Or what if I make a decision and I regret it? The general theme here is what happens next. We can ponder that endlessly. What if, what if, what if? And eventually we make a decision, not because we no longer feel scared or anxious, but because our comfort zone suddenly becomes a place of discomfort by that what if question. And what makes it uncomfortable? It sounds a little cliche, but I believe the answer is hope. Hope moves us through to our destination of newfound comfort. Through this process, we become stronger. And all of a sudden, that feeling you had in the pit of your stomach, it's not so scary anymore. You learn that if you can't beat fear, you just do it scared. So what does happen next? If I had the answer to that question, I'd probably be a millionaire right now. But I do know this. There are going to be moments in life when you find yourself in a state of discomfort and anxiety and uncertainty, and probably all at the same time. In those moments, look towards familiar faces and happy places to get back to your sense of belonging. Indulge in what grounds you and keep moving forward. And as you move forward, I hope you remember these things. First, remember the bonds you have made through this program. We've all laughed and cried together. We've all given encouragement and support through difficult times. We've really seen each other. The network you've built here over the past few years is very strong and very resourceful. Continue to cheer on your classmates. And when you need a little bit of guidance or just to vent, know that there's a common understanding that we all have. From each other we've learned, and we will continue to learn for the rest of our lives. We've chosen a path where we have the opportunity to progress and become better every day. Kind of like fine wine, we just get better with age. That brings me to my second point, but here's a little backstory. Last year, when I attended ICASI for the first time, I had the opportunity to take Eva Dreikers' class. After the week was over, my perspective on therapy and life was completely changed. I remember telling Marian, I've never felt more uncomfortable in my entire life, and I have no idea what to do. And she looked at me and said, good, that's exactly how you're supposed to feel. And it makes sense now. It's in those moments when we question things, whether it's about a new technique or just an old way, that we learn something new. I like to relate it to when I'm working out. I know that I'm not making progress if I don't feel tired after a session. There's no real work being done, right? So I leave the gym unsatisfied. The same thing is when I attend a workshop. If I don't leave that training feeling reflective on my own practice, I know that what I've learned there today probably won't have an impact on myself or my professional career. So, with that being said, remember to carry the title student with pride. With every workshop, training, and conference you attend, you have the opportunity to not only be further educated, but you also have the chance to better understand yourself. So always take that chance, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable. And third, most importantly, remember that being compassionate towards yourself is just as important as the compassion you give to others. As wounded warriors, we all have the tendency to put aside our own mental health in order to help others. I think most of us in this room would agree that's a pretty difficult habit to break. But I want to give you a friendly reminder today that you are enough. Learning to be compassionate towards yourself is like learning a new language. It takes time, effort, and patience. With time, effort, and patience, we not only achieve our academic and our career goals, but we also achieve self-awareness. By giving ourselves time, we can reflect on the emotions we use as a GPS of our life. By putting in a little bit of effort, we can understand what we need to have in order to have a balanced life. And by having patience, we give ourselves permission to make a few mistakes along the way. And so I've come to the end of my speech. And with this, I want to leave you with a story and a word that gives me strength every day. Do with it what you please. Growing up, something my late grandfather used to tell me every time I left the house was a word in Arabic. This word, amahlik, which translates to take it easy. To be honest, This word really never had an impact on my life, until I felt the burnout that this career can have. I woke up one day, and I think we've all been there, and I just felt like an overstretched hair elastic. To put it simply, I just had no more compassion left to offer. I was spiraling, and I could not figure out how to slow down. This was also a time when I was struggling with the loss of my grandfather. Like me, he loved academia, and he always encouraged me to follow my dreams. When he passed, I found a note in my wallet. On that note was written "Amahlik" in Arabic. I had no idea it was put there, but I conveniently found it a few weeks before my last class, a time when practicum, school, and my thesis were colliding, and it felt like I was racing to a finish line that kept moving. Somehow, I found it when I truly did need a reminder to take it easy. And with this small discovery, I took it as a signal to slow down. Sometimes we get caught up in the business of life that we just go on autopilot. But I'd like to challenge everyone here today to turn off that autopilot sometimes, take some time to be present. And with that, if I can leave you with one thing to remember from this speech today, it's to take it easy. Or if my grandfather was here, he would say, "Amalkon." Thank you.